Making mistakes is actually good. Sounds weird, right? Let me give you 11 reasons why it's good to make mistakes in English. I'm teacher Tiffani. Let's jump right in. Reason number 1. You see, making mistakes, my friend, helps you identify areas that need improvement. When you make mistakes in English, you can pinpoint specific areas where you need to focus your learning efforts. This self-awareness is crucial and important for targeted improvement. I know that you don't like making mistakes. I know that it gets uncomfortable and maybe you feel embarrassed. But when you make those mistakes, it actually allows you to see, hey, this is an area I need to improve. Hey, this is an area I need to focus on to be better. There's a quote I want to tell you that actually talks about this very point. It's from Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. We are all benefiting from Thomas Edison. Let the world benefit from you making mistakes and then improving yourself. Reason number 2. Errors provide opportunities for targeted practice and reinforcement. Again, targeted practice and reinforcement. Remember, the very first one was showing you where improvement is needed. Now for the second reason, you're seeing that it gives you the opportunity to have targeted practice, to make sure you're targeting the right things. Mistakes allow you to practice specific language points repeatedly, reinforcing correct usage and helping you internalize the rules. I mentioned in our previous lesson from last week that one of my students, when I was in South Korea, was able to improve her pronunciation. Why? She recognized her mistakes. She kept making the same mistake. Her TH pronunciation was not correct. So she was able to target the TH sound. And her practice was not about the S sound or the T sound because she made those sounds properly. But the mistake she kept making was in relation to the TH sound. So she was able to target that sound. And when I tell you her pronunciation, woo-wee, it improved drastically because she targeted her practice on the TH sound. There's another quote that emphasizes the importance of making mistakes and why this is good. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Henry Ford once again said, "The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing." In other words, we are all going to make mistakes. My friend, we're human beings. We are going to make mistakes. So when you make mistakes, don't feel bad. Instead, like Henry Ford was alluding to, learn from them and keep improving, baby. Don't feel bad. You got this. Reason number 3, why it's good to make mistakes. Mistakes can lead to memorable learning experiences. Often, the embarrassment or surprise associated with a language mistake makes the correct form more memorable, leading to long-term retention. I told the story a few weeks back about my student who was not able to pronounce the word law firm. And I always said WAPERM instead of law firm. And I said he was a very jovial guy, one of my favorite students. So when I corrected him, we were all laughing together because he was so confident. He said, "Tiff, WAPERM." I said, "Dude," he said, "Oh, my bad." He was in such a good mood when I corrected him, he wasn't embarrassed. He was shocked that he said it incorrectly, but I'm sure he'll never forget that moment. just like I have never forgotten that moment, and it happened well over 7 or 8 years ago. So again, when you make mistakes, it can lead to a memorable experience. Here's a quote that emphasizes this point. Oscar Wilde said, "Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes." Once again, experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. We go through life and we learn things. You learn things when you make mistakes. As a business owner, as your English teacher, I have had many different experiences, and some of those experiences are tied to mistakes that were made. But I'll never forget those experiences because I learned from the mistakes. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They are just learning experiences. Let's go to the next reason why you should make mistakes. Reason number 4. Correcting mistakes helps develop problem-solving skills. When you sit back and think to yourself, I wonder why I made that mistake, you'll inevitably start trying to fix it, trying to figure out, hey, how can I do this better? How can I use a different term, or how can I use this term properly next time? You see, the process of identifying and correcting errors enhances critical thinking and analytical skills, which are valuable in language learning and beyond. This helps you. This habit of making mistakes is not a bad thing. It can and will help you. Here's a quote that emphasizes this. Albert Hubbard said, "The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing that you will make one." Again, the greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing that you'll even make a mistake. Listen, I'm an English teacher. I am passionate about helping you speak English fluently. I'm more passionate about helping you speak English with confidence, meaning I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to be okay with making mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad when you make a mistake. Instead, realize it's a part of the process. Don't fear them. Just make them and keep growing, baby. Come on. Let's keep going. Here's the next reason why it's okay to make mistakes. Reason number 5. Errors often reveal patterns in language learning that can be addressed. When you make mistakes, you're going to find these patterns. I always say it this way. I always do it that way. You see, recurring mistakes can highlight systematic issues in your understanding of English, allowing you to tackle these underlying problems effectively. I immediately thought about one of my students who has become a very close friend. He will know who I'm talking about. Hey. And I've spoken to him many times because he's gotten to this point in his language journey where his English is amazing. He does business in English. He really speaks well. So now that he has this confidence, I am able to correct his mistakes. I am able to help him recognize the patterns of his mistakes, right? I'm like, hey, when you do this, this is what you say, but it should be this way, right? There are certain patterns, and as you make mistakes, you'll recognize those patterns and then correct them. Check out this quote that emphasizes this point. Mistakes are portals of discovery. James Joyce. Once again, mistakes are the portals of discovery. You're discovering how your brain processes things. You're discovering how to use the language and how to flow when you're speaking. Mistakes are powerful. What about this one right here? Mistakes can spark curiosity about language rules and exceptions. The more mistakes you make, the more curious you'll become. I wonder why that's wrong, but that's right. This is what it's all about when you're learning a language. Be curious, be creative. It's okay to make mistakes. You see, when you make mistakes or when you make errors, you often become curious about why they're wrong, which leads to deeper exploration of English grammar and usage rules. I wonder why I can say this, but I can't say that. Check out this quote. Phyllis Thoreau says, or said in the past, mistakes are the usual bridge between inexperience and wisdom. Mistakes are the usual bridge between inexperience and wisdom. In other words, mistakes take you to the next level. Now, I'm sure you're sitting there and maybe you're shocked. Maybe you're confused. Is Tiffani telling me to make mistakes? I am. I'm telling you to make mistakes because you have to let go of the fear of mistakes. In order for you to improve, in order for you to speak English fluently, let yourself go, my friend. Speak, make mistakes, recognize your patterns, recognize the things you need to target and practice more, but don't be afraid of mistakes. Reason number 7. Making mistakes helps learners like you become more comfortable with taking risks in communication. I literally was just talking about that. Let yourself go. Be free. Take risks. You see, as you realize that mistakes are a natural part of learning, you become more confident in using English. Even if you're not sure that you're 100% correct. Think about a kid. I brought up my niece before, my youngest niece, and she's 8 years old right now, so of course she speaks English well. She's still learning some things. But I remember when she was 4 or 5, she would just talk. She wasn't scared. She wasn't nervous. She was using the language. Was she making mistakes? Yes, because she was still in the learning process, even now. But she was free to express herself. You as an English learner need to experience this freedom, because out of this freedom will come confidence. Make mistakes, my friend. Here is a quote to emphasize this point. Neil Gaiman says, I hope that in this year to come, you make mistakes. Because if you are making mistakes, then you are making new things, trying new things, learning, living, pushing yourself, and changing your world. I agree with this quote 100%. If you don't learn anything today, I want you to remember this. Make mistakes, baby. It's totally okay. Free yourself. Enjoy using the language. Make mistakes. Reason number 8. Mistakes can lead to discussions about cultural nuances in language use. Immediately, what came to mind when I said this, when I read this reason, when I was in level 1 studying Korean years ago, I remember when I learned how to say take a shower. In English, we say take a shower. In Korean, it's 샤워하다. I said, wait a minute, we're doing a shower? What in the world? In that moment, and again, more than a decade later, I still remember that moment because I made a mistake. I just translated take a shower, right? And I said it in Korean like that. And the teacher was like, oh no, Tiff, that's not how we say it. In Korean, we say 샤워하다. And I was like, but I never forgot that mistake. Why? Because it led to an understanding of the differences between Korean culture and American culture. Some errors stem from cultural differences, providing opportunities to learn about the cultural context of English usage. Here's a quote about this that emphasizes it. Dale Carnegie said, "The successful man will profit from his mistakes and try again in a different way." I made a mistake. I thought it was take a shower in Korean as well, but no, it's not. I learned from it and I moved forward. Make mistakes. They can lead to discussions. Reason number 9. Errors or mistakes often highlight the differences between the learner's native language and English. Now, this is similar to reason number 8 with the cultural nuances, but we're building on that reason. Again, mistakes can reveal how your native language influences your English usage, just like it did for me, helping you understand and overcome language interference. Remember, mistakes are totally okay. There are more pros to mistakes than cons. There are more benefits than downfalls. You can learn so much simply from making mistakes. Check out this quote. Albert Einstein said, "Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new." In other words, Albert Einstein, a genius, was saying it's inevitable. It's natural. It's going to happen. You're going to make a mistake if you're trying anything new. You are trying to speak English fluently. Your goal is to speak English with confidence. It's something new to you. You're going to make mistakes and it's A-OK. Reason number 10. Mistakes provide opportunities to practice self-correction skills, a skill that you must have. Learning to identify and correct your own mistakes is a valuable skill that enhances your overall language proficiency and autonomy as a learner. In order to improve this skill, you have to recognize your mistakes. To recognize the mistakes, you have to make mistakes. You want to speak English fluently. My friend, it's okay to make mistakes. Check out this quote. Leon Brown said, "Mistakes are the stepping stones to wisdom." This is similar to a quote we had earlier about mistakes being a bridge to wisdom. Now we're seeing mistakes being stepping stones to wisdom. Not negative things, but positive things. Make mistakes. And reason number 11. Making mistakes helps learners become more aware of their own progress over time. As you make mistakes, you realize, I made a mistake, but I also corrected something that I made a mistake on last time. Okay, I'm getting better. As you make fewer mistakes or different types of mistakes, you can see tangible evidence of your improvement in English. This will help you be more confident. Check out this quote. Theodore Roosevelt said, "The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything." You're going to make mistakes. Try something new. Keep moving forward. It is okay to make mistakes. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and I hope it helped you. I'll talk to you next time. Change my heart, oh God. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. I have the story right in front of me, the one I planned to tell for this story time, but I want to switch. I'm thinking about my nephew. My nephew passed away. How long has it been? Wow, it's been 10 years. 10 years ago. And he was so adorable. Cutest kid. So lovable. Everyone wanted to be around him. He was a great kid. He was 5 years old. Unfortunately, he got brain cancer. But my nephew, don't worry, this is a good thing. my nephew would wake up happy, right? Wake up happy, just happy about life, right? And he had a song that he loved. And I've sung this song before, but I really want to sing this song again for you, a part of this song. And the song is You Know Better Than I. And I think the correlation is with the lesson. In your opinion, mistakes are wrong. But as your English teacher, I let you know it's okay to make mistakes. I'm letting you know that you will improve. And this song, You Know Better Than I'm a Christian, it lets us know that God knows better than us. And there are some things that we can't understand, but he cares about us, just like I care about you. And some things I might teach you, you might not understand in the moment. You might say, Tiff, wait a minute, this is opposite of what I've done in the past, but I'll trust you, Tiff. And I'm like, yeah, I got you, don't worry. God is saying the same thing. So I want to sing just a short portion of the song. You ready? Here we go. You know better than I, and you know the way. I've let go the need to know why, 'cause you know better than I. This song used to be sung loudly in my car. My nephew would sing at the top of his lungs because he loved the song so much. So I hope you enjoyed that short portion of the song. It came from the Prince of Egypt, the movie that came out many years ago, but you can check it out. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes.